Shit, I'm in the car. I'm pulling up now. Hold up. I'm on my way. I'm trying to spread through traffic. I'm about to get it. Yeah. What it is, chat? You in the dungeon with your boy K the fuck I X. When you had another one, we about to go all the way across the board with this one. They say Big U and Brick Baby got caught up. Caught up. Up. Is up. Up. You in the dungeon. Hit them buttons up there. Hit them. Feed me 50K sub chat. We in the dungeon with your boy K the fuck I X. We got to react to Brick Baby and Big U Rico. Know what's come out of time, chat. But we gonna go all the way across the board with this one. I see the whole bunch I need to look at. You feel me? Feed me 50K. Hit them buttons. They up there.
Signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway.
Justice for them.
See that boy would have been there like, yeah, you got it. Look at that.
Hey, chat. I ain't know nothing, but I feel like he was scrolling. I meant like trolling a little bit, but I mean, that's your opinion. You got an opinion, your own, you feel me? So I don't even know. What do you think?
Alright, y'all. Now, y'all know what they say, right? They say every dog has its day, right? Every dog has its day. Now, Big U, for y'all that don't know, he's like this big leader of the Crips, Rollin 60s. He's from the West. He got it on lock. Supposedly or allegedly, him and Nipsey have been going back and forth at a time, and they wasn't really on good terms. And he allegedly had a, you know what? I'm not gonna go there.
You know what?
Here's what I'm gonna say, man. Every dog has his day, and Big U has been slipping through the cracks for quite some time now. However, it looked like it finally caught up to him, and not just him, but Brick Baby and Loose Cannon and a couple other Rollin 60 members of the whole Crip gang, right? Now, before we even get into this, man, they say
it's a good thing Rondo got out when he got out.
And that Big U, along with Brick Baby and Loose Cannon and other members of the Los Angeles Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips were arrested by the feds in Operation Drawdown, which is a RICO case. Now, Big U himself is being accused of also unaliving an artist that was signed to his label and then dumped his body off on a Las Vegas freeway. But get this, if y'all remember, just a couple days ago, they said that his DNA, right? Something of his DNA was found underneath the nails of the victim. So at that point, he kind of should have.
He's cook. You know how you put that chicken in the deep fry? He is cook, and county cooked.
Already knew that he was going down. Like, how do you explain that? Right? Now, also, it says that him and other alleged Crip gang members accused of unaliving, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, fraud, just a whole bunch of stuff. And it said that back in 2021, the guy name was Rayshawn Williams. He released like some diss song, and allegedly Big U was either in it, something like that. He ended up kidnapping.
Time out. Pause. We about to kick back a little bit. You heard what he said, Chad. If he was doing this to his own artists and stuff like that, was in his own, city, his neighborhood Crip, whatever you want to call it. I ain't down on nobody in that family saying I don't know the name of it. But, yeah. So you know how they be like tap in and all that, you gonna be protected and all that. But Rondo was that, you feel me? And he was tapping in and his people was still getting knocked off. So now I'm putting two to two together. I mean, you feel me? They was just getting the bag and finessing the whole time. Whew. That's how them niggas do. That's why I ain't tapping in nowhere, nobody to where. You fuck me, you tap in, nigga. It's a free fucking country. I'm gonna tap in and put my foot in your eye. You feel me? Ain't part of no gang, no none of that shit. Tap in. Nigga, I'm doing my content, my music, and whatever. You don't tap in? Yeah, right. Make your own bag. Tap in. What's the nigga wood? Let's get back at it, chat. Hit them buttons up there.
Snapping and shooting him, just a whole big thing. But here's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna play this clip for y'all, and we're gonna take it from there. Let's get into it.
Proven otherwise. Let me talk a little bit about Mr. Henley and the Street Gang here. As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the Rollin 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts. All things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation.
Now, this also goes to y'all that think being on social media, if y'all, let me tell y'all, gangs are still illegal. I don't know why people be parading around, oh, I'm in the Crips, I'm in the Bloods. They be parading around going crazy as if law enforcement don't look at it as it being illegal. You may think it's okay, but guess what? When things like this happen,
Bro, they do all that shit for the net. They be woofing for the net. They ain't even like that. They do that shit. They try to get views. That's what they do for. They throw that bang down on, throw them hands around and say a couple words. So they can look. He's tough. Ooh. You know niggas ain't tough.
This is how they paint you. Oh, he was in the 60s, the Crips, yeah, they paying attention to all that.
He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur, running a music label, and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options, which purports to help at-youth risk escape gang life.
He next.
And escape the perils of gangs in high-crime areas.
I'm tell you, Chad, he next. White 100 is never. I said we all over the board.
Rap news, street politics, the best channel on YouTube. And y'all know that we had to cover this Big U indictment.
Comment, share,
and as we see, the whole world is blew up over the situation between Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and they co-defendants in this investigation that the feds are calling Operation Drawdown. Now we see 19 pictures on that whiteboard, and we know, man.
Time out, pause for a minute. And if you ain't got you one of these, you gotta get up out of jail, cause you can't be chilling with G. You in a dungeon with your boy K the fuck IX, and all I ask you to do is feed me 50K subs. We need that, chat. And we in the dungeon with me, reacting to Brick Baby and Big U. They got a Rico going on over there. Murders, all types of shit. Come on, man. Body. Ooh. Ain't gonna do well for them. Must be the order. Must have been.
Man, that's the nastiest place you could be, with them people talking on the microphones and your face in the back. But you know, we got our hands on the paperwork.
Wow.
A criminal complaint that was given to the judge over the telephone, recounted by Special Agent Andrew James Rusa. And everybody that watched that A-Tray Gangsta Crip federal indictment, we got more of the same. We got wiretaps, confidential informants, witnesses, but we also got murder. And we got celebrity rappers, boxers, NFL players, and NBA players. So let's jump right into it, man. So we know the feds came and swept everybody off their feet March 19, 2025. And the specific task force that did that was the Los Angeles Metropolitan Task Force on Violent Gangs, a task force that's gonna be exclusive to the FBI Los Angeles field office. Now, the key thing is when you're dealing with a task force, these dudes specialize in certain things. They have more tools, they have more funding to be able to really come down on people. And the main thing about a task force is apprehension.
Focus on
That's
that
how they
one
increase
thing,
their funding,
bro.
and they're
They
usually
playing.
known to have aggressive tactics that go along with those apprehensions. But in this situation, we have 5 main key players that are somewhat spearheading this federal indictment. Of course, we got Eugene Henley, Big U, who also goes by the name of Unc. We all know Big Draws, but they also have names of Hannibal Muhammad, Anybody Killer, or Dave Austin that Big U could also go by. We have his right-hand man, Sylvester Robinson, aka Vay. And we have his other close homie, Mark Martin, aka Bear Claw. These 3 defendants are the ones that's being charged with the RICO. Now, next in this paperwork, we got Tremaine Ashley Williams, aka Loose Cannon. He's charged with interference with commerce by robbery. Now, you know, every time they talk about interfering with commerce, it's always federal. Then we got Armani Aflahe, aka Monty. Y'all may know her as Trap Kitchen Monty. She's down on this indictment for transportation of an individual in interstate commerce with the intent.
That name sounds real familiar, Chad. I mean, I know you just set it up, but I can recall Whack 100 and Big U having a conversation and her name popped up. Is that one of them 2 niggas' wives? Let me know in the box. Let me know in the comment. Tell me something. It's getting crazy. They dropping names.
That the individual engages in prostitution. We're gonna break all this down. Next, we have Frederick Blanton Jr., who went by Blanton, and Tiffany Hines, who are labeled in the indictment as participants of bank fraud. Now, Zaire Mitchell, Brick Baby, he's also in this situation. He was caught on wiretap. We're gonna talk about what he was saying on there, but he's actually in some separate paperwork on this indictment. But we're gonna speak on this case too. Now, the reason that this
they say he on separate paperwork. So I mean he doing something. Like allegedly. He on another case. Like Dirt. Allegedly.
Something went wrong. Please
Hey
try
man.
again.
What I'm saying, you heard that? Siri just started talking. I ain't say hey nothing. Your phone is tapped. So if you doing any weird ass thing around your phone, stop. Cause you're going to jail.
This indictment came forth is because it's being alleged that the Big U Enterprise is a mafia-like organization that utilizes Big U's stature and long-standing association with the Rollin 60s to intimidate businesses and individuals. So basically, he's using his business endeavors, coinciding those with the gangbanging, in an attempt to gain control throughout the city of Los Angeles. And the crimes that they allege he committed, along with his co-conspirators, to ensure that that control was actually gained, was murder, robbery, extortion, interstate transportation for prostitution, wire fraud, and bank fraud. Now, investigators allege that this whole scheme really formed in about 2008. Again, Big U got out of prison in 2004. And this is when he established all of these businesses that are being labeled criminal organizations in this indictment. But it's really said that.
And you know what they say, Chad? When you get locked up, go to the jail, pen, whatever you want to call it, and you come home, they say when you do them years, you come home smarter. So that nigga was over there, he cooked up a mean plot. Let him out to take over. And we ain't learned him back. Yeah, thought you was smart. But they was just one step ahead of you. That's what you think, man. You think you're faster, or you think you're smarter, or you think you're moving quicker than them. You really ain't. Cause they got more manpower, more money, more time, more whatever you think you got than them on their hands than you got. For one. And for two, if they want you, they got you. They can put anything on you. That's just how they play them dirty games. That's the law, that's the phase, that's them. And three, it should have threw a little harder when you were playing when you was over that thing. Cause that was the wrong move, buddy. And we about to get back into this, but I'm gonna say 4. It got a lot to do with that thing Trump said. That's why they coming down on a lot of motherfuckers is in gangs. So I'm here to let you know, Big KIX is not with none of that. You feel me? So let's go.
Federal investigators really put him on their radar in February 2021. And when I mean him, I mean Big U Enterprise and its associates. And those associates, of course, being from Rollin 60s, but the 6-0s were said to have been under a federal investigation since the year prior, August 2020. So everything has been in the works for about 4 or 5 years with this situation. Now, one of the first ways that they say he tried to exert control was with the popular phrase that he also used in a podcast.
They've been looking at them for about 10 to 14 years.
So it said that professional athletes, musicians, and anybody else looking to conduct legitimate or illicit criminal activity in LA was required to check in properly with Big U if they wanted to make sure they was protected. And it was said that he used his reputation to instill fear with acts of violence and intimidation to make sure people comply.
Bro, like I said, nigga, there ain't no way in hell I'm making legit money. I'm basketball player, football player, rap, whatever. I'm about to pay this hood nigga some money because I'm coming to that city. Man, you got to be fucking. In what lifetime? That's just crazy, man. Look, you bleed, same thing I bleed. Yeah, whatever. You're not about to make me pay you to come to the city. That's just like that. I mean, it's just straight like that. Like, these better be quiet. Like, man, what you scared for what? If you're scared, go to church. Come on. You in the dungeon, hit them buttons, like, subscribe, comment, all of that. Me on this case right here.
With this check-in
That's
rule.
crazy, chat.
In a documentary film, he went on to say, and I quote, "You can choose not to check in, but it's gonna be a problem. If you choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences." And in separate statements, he went on to say that example of one of those consequences is what transpired with Quando Rondo and his people.
Video from the scene appears to show Quando Rondo
What I said earlier, bro?
While first
What I said earlier, bro. Man, you have to pay attention, bro. Listen to your boy Big K. Listen to me. Listen to your boy K the fuck X, man. I said it. I straight said it. I said, man, wasn't Rondo a part of that? And then he was paying them to check in, but his people still getting what? Man, they knew where he was at because of that. And that's why that happened, because of that. Allegedly. It ain't know nothing but nobody, but just pay attention, chat. Come on, man. And, it's sad, because checking in with these niggas, that put you in like more harm's way. Because it's like, oh, now they know where you at if they want to get to you. Now they can extort you because they know where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go to these big cities, and you don't really know nobody, you ain't really plugged in, tapped in like that. You ain't got you on them poles, rods, whatever like that. Bro, you are legit businessman. Hire some fucking security. You ain't gotta check in. Use that thing up there. And if you that scared, go to them gun classes. Get you certified in every state you about to go to, so you can carry your own. You feel me? Yeah, you tap into them. You telling them where you at. That put them. Oh, okay. We about to get this money up front, and we about to get that money up back, because we gonna rob them before they leave. And think, man. Putting you on.
Responders moved the body.
He said they didn't check in properly, and we all know them dudes from Chicago laid his cousin to rest over there by the Beverly Center. Now, he alluded to the fact that he could have changed that situation if Quando Rondo had did what he was supposed to do, especially claiming to be a member from 6-0. Now, like I said, there's hours of wiretaps of communications between all the defendants in this case. And since the inception of this investigation, more than 50 people have been physically interviewed by the folks and agreed to voluntarily provide information in regards to different situations surrounding Big U. So this takes us forward a little bit to 2022, where the FBI interviewed a cooperating witness labeled a CW1. He's the one who provided all the information about this whole check-in process and made them privy to how Big U is shaking people down when they come to town. This confidential witness also broke down how Big U Enterprises was the money-making gang inside of the Rollin 60s. Now, just to give some brief details on who this confidential witness is, this individual has convictions for possession for sales of narcotics in 2003 and in 2009, as well as shooting into an inhabited dwelling in 2003. This person received cooperation credit from the Central District of California at sentencing in a prior drug conspiracy case, and Joe Biden commuted his sentence for that offense. So if this sound like your people, they some bad people. He stated that these rap artists, athletes, not only had to check in verbally, but they also had to pay a fee, which takes us to Adrian
look it up right now.
So CW1 recounted an event that happened with Adrian Broner in June 2019, where it said that AB and a couple NBA players had a little dice game jumping off, in which AB had pulled out some trick dice and whooped all them NBA players' feet in the dice, totaling a debt of $1.5 million. After this dice game, it said that Big U sent his homies to rough AB up. It said that AB didn't check in properly.
Let me tell you something, Chad. I don't give a fuck about AB checking in, none of that. He pulled out some phony dice. I'd have beat his ass black, blue, senseless. Okay, fucker. You boxing not. We been out there bitch boxing at night. Ain't you playing with some, come on, man. You playing crazy game.
And now he trying to whoop people for millions in the city? Big U wasn't going for that. So it said his involvement was really at the root of the whole situation due to him being involved in the parties, the gambling parties, dice games, little celebrity parties. He was in the mix everywhere. And it was said that he forced AB to forgive the debt that was owed to him from these NBA players. But it didn't stop there. He was paid $100,000 by these NBA players for negotiating the debt.
CW1 is Cherry.
And it was said that these NBA players or celebrities, whoever, will kind of have to get an approval from Big U to operate safely at these events and functions moving forward. Now, there was also another.
So CSW1 is the co-founder of BMF, and he on his case. You know about them boys already. They was doing one of them. It was a song bird. I like that man right there.
Another event
crazy.
In which Loose Cannon spoke on, and we gonna get to his old telling ass, but he stated that Big U has sent him on a mission to demand 50 racks from a celebrity rapper with the initials RR. Now, that could be Roddy Ricch, could be Rick Ross, I can't say. And he said if that rapper didn't pay, then they would look to kill a rapper with the initials by the name of MM. Now that could be Meek Mill, so we could be talking about Rick Ross and Meek Mill here. This is just what the documents are alleging. But it was said that RR dropped off the 50 racks and Big U stopped answering Loose Cannon's phone calls and didn't split no money with him. But it's for sure that Big U was out here squeezing people all the way.
Said, bro, he was taking the money up front and was telling them, no, that ain't your ass nothing, bro. You gotta get them. And he was still getting got. Both way around. So I'm saying you tap in with these folks and you see where it gets you. 50 grand him, no 50 grand him. 100,000 him, no 100,000 him. 100,000 him the easy way, 100,000 the hard way. 25,000 him the easy way. Now you got a thing in your face like this, give me that money, bro. From the same folks. Like, man, I want to learn, man.
To operate in the city of LA. Now, the heaviest allegations in this case
legally
are from around the time that this investigation really started with Big U. And we all know the main things that bring these people out. If it's not a crazy amount of money, it's a murder, which takes us to January 25th, 2021. And at this time, Big U has somebody on his label by the name of Rashawn Williams. Now, this is the individual that 600 was talking about when he was alleging that Big U had something to do with this homicide. But we gotta say, all these claims are allegations. These are the initial charging documents and the probable cause affidavit. Everybody's presumed innocent until proven guilty. We gotta say that. This is the beginning of a long journey. But the fact still remains, Rashawn Williams. And with this situation, there are some similarities to Nipsey Hussle. I gotta keep it 100. So it said that
That's
Big
why I
U
said what I said.
and his business partner sent Rayshawn Williams to Vegas.
That's why I said what I said in that last when we covered chat. Like, something didn't sit right with me with that Eric Holder and that thing. Like, yeah, y'all grew up saying that. I can guarantee you Nip had Eric's number in his phone. But we ain't get into that. Like, how it happened. Like, don't sit right with me. You pull up to the store to get some food. Oh, you running him like, oh, what's up? And they say you want some paperwork. You leave, come back with the joint. Get the fine, but it's just you. That whole that's him right there. That's his facility. That's where he do his business. That's that right there. It's his spot. You feel me? That whole parking lot is where his, you feel me, hang out at. So how? And he this guy walk up, walk off, come back, pop out. And nothing absolutely happened to him. So I'm gonna say somebody got a call from that one right there, allegedly, and nobody did nothing to save that man's life. Not even his supposedly be home fucking boy. You know, they like to ride around, you know, little cowboys and shit. Ain't nobody do nothing. Let that be me and my ass, or me and my family, me and whomever. I ain't even got to know you. If I'm standing there to talk to you, that's your facility right there. I said, pull out the joint. We swinging on him. Off bricks and butts. We swinging on him. When he hit somebody, he hit somebody. Because he came to do that exactly, hit somebody. So we swinging on him to save our life. You niggas be worried, man. Like, you call that man your man, but then when you turn around and don't even stand up for him. Shit. Let's get back into it, Chad.
To record some music in somebody's studio who later on became a witness in this case. Actually, 3 witnesses in this case were related to this recording studio. The security guard, the owner, and someone who acted as maybe a technician up at the studio. But nonetheless, Rayshawn Williams is scheduled for the stew time, and he's supposed to record a song a day. It said that he's playing with the studio time and ends up recording a diss song aimed at Big U. Now, as we know, this is the same situation somewhat that happened with Nipsey Hussle, the diss record. What did Big U do with Nipsey Hussle? He pulled up looking to administer that DP.
Well, I ain't no rapper, I'm a scrapper. So, we end up having to come talk about that. Pull up the homies, and Nip admitted his wrong, but still there's some consequences to your wrong. I came to pick him up that morning so he can get his discipline.
He pulls up on Rayshawn Williams.
He say he... Bro, he's... Like, is you that man daddy or something? I pulled up on him to pick him up. Where was you taking him at? Like, you niggas is worried with all of that shit. That's why I say I don't pay to be in no gang. Because them niggas think they owe you owe them something, or they own you or something. Like, niggas, you crazy. You say, oh, it's a song, dog. It's a song, dog. Y'all niggas be going to get too sentimental in y'all feelings over songs, man. And when niggas put their rod in y'all females, y'all niggas get too sentimental. Like, I'm gonna get sentimental when niggas do that. Boy, let's get back to it, Jack. You almost took me out of character. You hear me?
All the way in Las Vegas with his co-conspirator, Sylvester Robinson. Now, when they got there, this is the first time that the witness or the security guard at this establishment had seen Big U. And we all know Big U is a distinct character, so there's no way he's gonna forget seeing Big U at the studio. Now, again, what led up to this visit at the studio was the diss record that was recorded 5 days prior on January 20th, 2021. In that record, Rayshawn Williams rapped about somebody who had the money, which the feds allege a reference to Big U. And Rayshawn Williams also rapping about being shot in the face for thinking shit funny with a .38 revolver because it leaves no trace. Now, it's not known if Big U heard this diss record before or during his interaction at the studio with Rayshawn Williams. But something made him pull up. So Rayshawn Williams had an Airbnb in Vegas, and it said that Henley and Robinson pulled up in a dark gray Lexus to the studio. And it said that the night before the homicide, Big U's phone was shown to have arrived at the Airbnb in Vegas that Rayshawn was staying at in the middle of the night. So it said that at 7:04, he was at the studio, and Rayshawn pulled up to the studio between 8 or 9 and recorded a record until about 11 or midnight. And at about 12:30 in the morning, the dark gray...
My thing is this. How the fuck you know about the song so quick if it didn't get put out? Like with the engineers, like, oh boy, your boy, he going south on you. He say he talking about you. Like, he probably ain't even meaning it that way, for real. He probably wasn't even talking about Big, you feel me? He probably just said Big, and he probably, he probably wasn't even, you feel me? I guess niggas get words twisted and misconstrued. Like, I want to hear the song now.
Lexus was no longer at the studio, but Robinson was. 12:58, Big U's phone disconnects from the cell towers. But at approximately 1:13 in the morning, the dark gray Lexus pulls up to the Airbnb. At this time, it said, Rayshawn is seen getting out the car, going into the Airbnb, and coming back out with his suitcase. Mind you, Rayshawn wasn't supposed to leave Vegas until the next day, but he's bringing his suitcase out at 1 in the morning and putting it in the dark gray Lexus. So at 1:20, the Lexus pulls off from the Airbnb. And about an hour later, 55 minutes later, 2:15 a.m., both of Big U's phones connect back to the cell tower in our reporting location. So it said that the drive from the Airbnb to the location where Rayshawn's body was found would take roughly about 42 minutes. And they say it took Big U approximately 48 minutes or 55 minutes from the time of leaving the Airbnb to turn his phone back on. Now it's said that Rayshawn's body was found in a landfill in the middle of the desert off the 15 freeway, which we all know is the freeway that connects LA to Vegas. He was shot multiple times, including in the face, and his body was dragged into a ditch. And seemingly he was shot with the same pistol that he referenced in that diss song to Big U, a .38, because there was no shell casings recovered. But at this time, between 2:30 and 3 a.m., the gray Lexus pulls back up to the studio, and witness one, a security guard, reports seeing Big U drenched in either sweat or water, in which he replied that he had just got out the gym. 7 hours later, Rayshawn's body is found in the desert. Big U was out of there an hour after that, 10 a.m., back to LA.
So they put mittens on this man, because they already said his DNA was found under his skin. I mean, you know, you sure they scratched him because the DNA was under his nails. Something. So he beat the skin off of him. Then he was like, finna shoot him. And then they buried him. So that's why he's all sweaty and shit. Allegedly. Hey, allegedly. I'm just spitballing. I'm listening. You feel me? We covered together. And you know, we got him. Well, none of them. It's crazy. Like, fuck with these guys. These guys, like, yeah. It be the thing like this though. We don't know how it went. Shorty's probably by the end of his term. He's like, man, look, I'm about to go mess with somebody else, rap with them. Or he's about to get signed by a major label. You ain't want that. You wanted him to keep money this way, and he's like, you can't leave. And that's how a lot of stuff happens. We never know, because we ain't here, because he gone now. Rest in peace to folks. That's crazy, man.
Now, because of inclement weather on the night of the murder, the DNA couldn't be restored. So a lot of DNA matches were coming up inconclusive for what was left at the scene. But witness one will go on to make statements to the feds and to the North Las Vegas PD about this incident. And it said that Big U ordered somebody to go get the surveillance cameras out of the studio, destroy everything, to the point where they had to send money to the studio owner to get a whole new surveillance system. And a month after this is when the feds start really forming their investigation on Big U. Now again, for everybody that watched that A-Tray video, man, if you ain't seen it, Go check that out because it's terms that are going to be continually used when speaking on federal indictments, like the Title III, which is the formal term for wiretap, in which both Loose Cannon and Brick Baby were recorded on. So not too long after this homicide took place in Vegas, Big U is back doing the regular situation in LA, shaking businesses down. And Loose Cannon is said to be one of the quote unquote enforcers of his shakedown crew. And there was one particular spot that Loose Cannon implied that he had dealings with in a weed dispensary in LA.
Bro.
Now the owner of the dispensary was charged tax every month by Big U and Big U Enterprises to the tune of some months $25,000 a month if business was booming. But that, of course, that number was fluctuating. But at some point, the owner of this weed dispensary, who is a cooperating witness, of course, decided to stop paying because he didn't see the benefit of being taxed and shook down. So Big U sends Loose Cannon and some other dudes to rob him and put that pressure on him to make sure he's paying. And at this point, once Loose and all these dudes brought the work back to Big U, he also called the owner of the weed dispensary to come to the house as well, in which he gave him his items back, but put his tax on it to make sure he was getting his money. Now the feds allege that
chat, is these guys slow or is they slow? Like what? So you steal shit on robbery at that. Take it to your house. Call them up on your phone. Not a burner phone. Not somebody else. You feel on your phone in your house. Tell them come over here. You can get it back, but you gotta pay this. How? This you knew the nigga was gonna go, bro.
Loose Cannon did nothing but corroborate the witness stories by telling all of this information on No Jumper, where they said Williams admitted to the robbery and the aftermath on the podcast. He also stated that he was Big U's right-hand man and started to implicate himself and Big U in certain crimes on these podcasts, which made Big U send that cease and desist to No Jumper and Vlad TV. The fans was watching. They seen Loose Cannon refer to Big U as Big Useless or Big Uterus. And they also have the January 3rd incident that happened this year when Loose Cannon struck somebody in the head and knocked him out with the pistol and proceeded to remove valuables from him, the jewelry, cash, cell phone, and added up everything to being over $5,000. They watched statements that Loose Cannon made saying he was Big Useless's enforcer, that he loves to fight, and that incident could have went a lot worse, implicated itself in this assault, and implicated itself into working for a criminal enterprise, Big U Enterprises. He also posted some of the fight.
And he did all of this in an interview, on a podcast, and then he posted it. Niggas be doing too much for clout. Too much for clout nowadays. Everybody quick to let me get posting that, but hell yeah, I'm gonna post that shit. That shit cool. Now niggas indicted because he got the strap in the motherfucker post. He banging, he flicking that on it. Come on, why you posting that? Like niggas would be weird.
And also spoke about how he was with Big U when P&B Rock was killed, and that they would have told him to comply with them dudes that killed him from A7 so they can bargain and get his jewelry back and tax him on the back end. He implicated himself in all of this, and we see him looking stupid, looking at his wife now, with the feds all around him, all that playing.
Bro, I told you, that guy had everything to do with everything that happened in LA. Off the rip, split, bro. You heard what he said, that the man was there when P&B, you feel me? So, it was already known that he was in fact, come on, bro. My man, oh my God, bro. When you niggas gonna learn to not tap into none of these weird ass people. Cause if you ain't listening or paying attention, P&B tapped in on Big Uncle T. Where P&B at the end of the day. Rest in peace to my dude P&B. You feel me? But like, he tapped into him. He paid. Then he's like, I'm about to chill with my girls. I'm good. I paid. I'm hood. Just somebody rolled up on him. from the same, you feel me, as Big Yella, allegedly, and now man alive.
Doing too much playing on the internet. This shit not a game no more. You know, these dudes was known for fabricating situations, making up stories, and falling back in and falling out with people, doing a bunch of shit. Now people looking crazy. He also made statements online that he kidnapped a victim and put him in the trunk of his car and drove him to Big U's house.
Come on.
Why are we talking about this?
It said y'all was trying to kidnap.
They told put in that.
So explain that story. Wait,
They
so
want
how did you
views,
come in
cuz.
contact with? And I think supposedly there was a Big U portion of it.
Yeah. So basically,
Grabbed him.
security is LA niggas.
Yo, I
We
noticed
from
that.
Rollin 60s. So nigga, if you gonna protect somebody or whatever, you gonna pick
buttons
the
up there,
issue.
like,
You just getting
comment,
paid
subscribe, you
$500
in
a
the
day.
dungeon with your boy K.I.
Just to make sure he good, but nigga, you gonna lose your life.
This is what ended up loose cannon on the.
You heard what he said. We gonna make sure you good, but you're gonna lose your life. So you gonna pay one time and pay again.
Indictment.
Don't
Now it seemed that he
tap
didn't
in.
even need a wiretap. He do it for the camera.
The
Brick
baby.
Baby, on the other hand, they initiated that title
Or a
prevent,
real one. He ain't
and he
tapped
was
in.
on there talking about a robbery. November 11, 2022,
Oh, you ones?
it said that Big U coordinated
I'm faking it.
with Zaire Mitchell,
Go back in the house.
aka Brick Baby, on how much Zaire would give Big U out of his proceeds from a robbery that he committed. So he was shaking Brick Baby down. All that popping it. But this is why he was still allowed to participate in hood activities and claim the hood, bang the hood, do all this. He getting shaken down by the OG. So all them dudes, Don Bonelli, everybody that was calling him out, come to the hood, that shit didn't matter
Said about Brick.
because he was paying the dudes. As you should.
All
I mean,
that
that's
he
what
was
everybody
talking.
does.
He got
That's
cat
what the G
in
homies
his
is looking
act.
for, especially from these young niggas. Anybody that's gonna get on here and debate that, you ain't never seen it, man. That's crazy. This is what happens, especially to the younger generation, man. We seen what happened to Sucker Free over in Lennox. We seen what happened to Money Sign Suede. Y'all go make sure y'all check our Nipsey video out. Kevin McIntosh put a copyright strike on us. Kev Mac made us take it down.
Bro.
He did that, told on us on YouTube, trying to protect the situation. We broke this situation down in 2021. Look what happened to this.
Extortion.
Go see what was said in there. But it was said that Brick Baby robbed somebody and Big U was counting out the money and said it was only 2-3 racks. Brick said it was supposed to be between 5 and 7. But this little situation right here got him wrapped up in a federal indictment on the wiretap and paying the OG homie.
Stay off them phones, chat. Like, what are you gonna learn, bro? Y'all ain't seen The Wire? If y'all ain't seen The Wire, y'all better go watch it. Look it up. The Wire, a Baltimore show. You better watch it, cause I mean it'll learn you something. Stay off them phones, chat. Like Nick, you do something, you get on the phone. Come on. How slow
Furthering
you is?
the criminal enterprise is what they saying. So just like we spoke on in that Hefe A-Track Gangsta federal case, where they had controlled buys with confidential sources and witnesses, same goes here. Instead of buys, they had controlled extortion payments. So the people that Big U was shaking down, the FBI was giving them money to make sure it gets into Big U's hands as a documented payment for his extortion methods. November 19, 2021, again, not even a year after that murder, the FBI provided $500 in cash for the meeting, and victim one paid that money to Henley. January 20th, 2022, the FBI provided $1,000 in cash that victim one paid to Robinson for Henley. February 17th, 2022, the FBI provided another $1,000 in cash that victim one paid to Robinson on camera for Henley. In one of the meetings, victim one paid Henley out of his own money, but it was documented and given to the feds on camera. And in this instance, Henley said they bumped it down to $1,500. They was taxing him a little bit more at that time in July of 2022. But there was numerous controlled extortion payments. And there was also an incident where he extorted some club promoters in Deja Vu. where at his birthday he said that he wanted to have some entertainers. T.I. and Wiz Khalifa was supposed to pull up. He said he wanted 33% of what the bar made for the night. So after that, he calls one of the promoters and basically is like, look.
Bro, who this nigga thought he was? Who I thought he was, chat? It sounded like he was extorting everybody.
Y'all put my face on this flyer. It's all over the city. My wife is tripping. I need 30 racks. Club promoter like, man, you know, maybe 20, because 30 is the pot. So I'll give you 20, I'll take 10. Big U said no, 30. Wiz Khalifa, T.I. didn't end up pulling up. Some witnesses seen him shake the club promoter in the back for that 30 racks.
Bro.
And on top of that, he still asked for the 33% of the bar. And of course, these demands were followed by threats. He said he'll tear the whole shit up if the demands aren't met. He said it had 5,000 6-0s in the club to tear it down.
Telling niggas,
bring me my money. So he was doing a lot of strong arming in the city. Now, somebody else that everybody is surprised to see in this indictment, including myself. We follow each other on Instagram. This has been a big name in the city for years now. Trap Kitchen Money. She was also on that Title III wiretap. The feds intercepted phone calls and text messages between her and Big U. Now, they also alleged that Big U was smacking it. I can't say that's what's in the documents. But they were saying that she was providing women to cross state lines to do some hoeing and take care of some of Big U people in that fashion. Now, in June 2023, that federal task force interviewed her at her house. You know, she admitted to promoting prostitution, noting that she was known for bringing the hoes. She provided females to Big U as long as they was paid. And the next day after this, she was supposed to go up to the FBI field office and let them sync her phone up to their computer to extract all the data. Now, of course, she wasn't supposed to have communication with anybody after this interaction, but they intercepted her talking to Big U and meeting with Big U. And at this time, Big U was already knowing.
Bro, how dumb do you can get? Like, yo, you was putting your life in danger both ways. You was working with the people. Then you go back like, look, I ain't working with the people. This what I told him, this what I did. And he, 9 times out of 10, he probably told him, look, go over there, show him that phone, don't show him anything. You think we got it covered. Not knowing that if she let that shit play a little bit more, they been going to a funeral. That's crazy. Like, y'all gotta stop playing, man.
That the feds was tapping phones. But at this time, she meets with Big U, breaks down everything that happened. And, you know, it looks like Eugene grounded her a little bit, made her pull her shit together. And she didn't cooperate anymore after that point. She didn't make another statement and didn't go to the FBI field office to empty the contents of her phone, because that would have blew everything up. But, you know, they got warrants for all of that right now. The biometrics, everything. They're trying to go through everything right now. But the reason Big U knew his phone was tapped was because a couple months prior to this interaction between Trap Kitchen Money and the feds, Las Vegas police pulled up to Big U crib, tried to do the okey doke, saying they was new detectives working on Rayshawn Williams' case, and they just wanted to touch everybody that could know something. 2 years later, for the anniversary of his homicide, he wasn't at home at the time. His wife called him. And anybody know, if you ever got a phone call with somebody telling you, hey, the police looking for you, the number one question you ask, how many of them was it? That's the universal question. So the feds intercepted that call and noticed that Big U.
He right about that. It's either for what or how many was it? Cause you try to figure out if there's a lot of them, your ass in trouble. Who just went on? They probably don't want nothing. 4, 5 of them, what the fuck I did? 6, 7 of them, who they want my ass? 20 of them, then I ain't never come home. You feel me? But at the same time, nigga be like, what do you want? How many of them? They still there? What they say? I ain't come home now. I'll be seeing tomorrow. Bring me something though. I'm gonna like niggas be
getting wary about the phones. He didn't return home for 2 weeks after that point and started to move a little differently. But like I said, there was already hours of phone calls and what the feds are called a pertinent conversation that had meaning in relation to the indictment or the case. But this whole situation right here gave them the opportunity to go ahead and look into his financial affairs, which is where they hit him with the EIDL. A lot of people thinking of PPP. When the IRS involved, it was that EIDL, the one before the PPP that wasn't forgivable. Everybody know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. They said he got 90 racks from the EIDL under Unique Music, saying he operated with a $200,000 profit for the year when he was actually at a $5,000 loss, and got him for a fraudulent application on that. So this is where the bank and the wire fraud come in. The embezzlement. It said that he embezzled around $150,000 on 7 separate occasions, where we see in August of 2019, he got $20,000 donated to his business by an NBA All-Star. January 2020, $14,000 that he embezzled from a payment from an award-winning music publishing company. Now, the embezzlement happened because these people were donated to a business. So in this case, for example, the publishing company donated $24,000. Once they followed the money, it was seen that $14,000 out of that $24,000 was transferred to his personal bank account and being used for personal expenses instead of the business expenses that were negotiated at the time of the donation. Simple stuff. Very simple. They're trying to add everything up. This is what the feds do. And it said September.
If they put the money in the business account, you got access to the business account. Why are you just spending money from the business account? Why put it in your account? Niggas be so smart, they stupid, it's slow.
November 21st, 2022, he embezzled $19,000 out of a $20,000 donation from an NBA MVP, former NBA MVP. And he also had a situation with ex-NFL player Willie McGinnis. I believe it's Willie McGinnis, based on a situation that Willie McGinnis had in the club at the same exact time. And the indictment is referencing somebody named WM, who was a former professional football player, where it said that this individual busted somebody in their head with a bottle at the club. Big U had to step in and had to squeeze them folks from pressing charges, getting the heat off Willie McGinnis. Is this how his son is in the NFL? I can't say. I'm not gonna go there. Of course, you got to be talented, but we see a lot of the company Big U was keeping. It's some high-ranking people, especially in LA. Now, they also allege that he misappropriated funds from the GRID program and from the city of LA. Now, the GRID program is also that situation where 600 and all these dudes is talking about how he's working with the police. It's a gang intervention program where they do have dealings with the folks as well. But clearly, if he was operating with the folks, it didn't help him none in this situation, man. When we see it looks like 600 really is the folks. But since 2015, his company Developing Options received.
Boy, it sound like he's just digging himself a deeper and a deeper and a deeper and a deeper grave. Like, this shit's getting crazy, chat.
$550,000 from the GRID program. And between July 1st, 2018 to July 30th, 2023, he received $2.3 million from the city of Los Angeles. This is what people was talking about when they said that peace was inflated. That peace movement that was happening in LA, 8 Trays, the Hoovers, whoever, 6 O's was sitting down, is some large money involved in peace in these intervention programs. This is what was being alleged. This type of paper. You can't fault nobody for trying to get a legal bag. But when the funds are misappropriated, this is how you see a situation like this. And on the wiretaps, we also see multiple threats, many to WAC 100, where he's communicating with people, stating that he needed to break WAC 100's jaw and that he needed to beat the shit out of WAC 100. There was also a situation where he described threatening to kill some dudes from Grape Street, saying he had paperwork on some of his homies in the 60s, and speaking on how he's the biggest Rollin 60 member to ever exist, including Nipsey Hussle. So, this is very early in this situation between Big U and his co-conspirators. But we're going to keep providing y'all with this dope content, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment.
Let me tell you who actually kind of lucky. I didn't mean that. Whatever I hit chat, I didn't mean to hit it. But let me tell you who actually lucky in this situation.
It's the
Whack, because he was really coming at him like, yeah, he really wanted whack. And I mean, you know they in 2 different sets. So he was kind of protected because he had to sit down his back, but they was about to get into it. But yeah, you was in a dungeon with your boy Kid for the X. We reacted to the Rico case of Big U and Brick Baby. It's getting tough for them. Hit them buttons up there. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, we here, chat. We out, man.